video, I'm going to be going over the answers to dividing by 10, 100 and 1000 worksheet on the Classroom Secrets Kids website. I'll go through the answers one by one and hopefully cover some of the things you might have found a little bit tricky. Question 1 says, match the starting numbers to the correct operation and answers. One has been done for you, and the example we've been given is 2,700 divided by 10 gives us 270. Our first task is to break this question down and find out what the actual numbers in the place value charts represent so we can see them and work out the calculations one by one. So the very next number we know and we can see is 27,000 because that's given to us in numerals. The one after that is 20,700 because that's represented in numerals. And the final one is 20,070. That's what is represented within the place value chart. The operations we've got are divide by 1,000, divide by 10, and divide by 100. And the numbers on the right hand side we have left that can be answers are 27, 207, and finally 2007. So we've already been given that first calculation, so we don't need to worry about that one. So what we need to do is work through each of these numbers and their operations to see if we can actually find an answer that matches. So the first one I'll try is 27,000 divided by 1,000. 27,000 divided by 1,000 would mean that the numbers in 27,000 move down 3 places in the place value chart. So 7 would move down 3 to be in the ones place, and the 2 would move down 3 places to be in the tens place. The zeros would move beyond the decimal point, so we don't need to worry about them in these examples. So 27,000 divided by 1,000 becomes 27. So we can join that with that one, and we can join it with that one. The next calculation then that we can do is 20,700 divided by 10. 20,700 divided by 10 would mean that the numbers in the place value chart move down 1. So that would move beyond the decimal place but this will move into the ones column. The 7 will move into the tens column. The 0 would move into the hundreds column, and the 2 would move into the thousands column, giving us 2,070. However, 2,070 is not an option, so we cannot do divide by 10 for this one. However, we can try then divide by 100. So if we did 20,700 divide by 100, the numbers would move 2 places down the place value chart. So 7 would move 1, 2 into the ones column. The 0 would move 1, 2 into the tens column, and the 2 would move 1, 2 into the hundreds column, which would give us 207. So we can join that to there, and we can join this to there, because 20,700 divided by 100 is 207. Finally, we need to make sure that this and this and this do actually join up with each other. So 20,070 divided by 10 would mean that all the numbers move down 1 place. So the 0 would move beyond the decimal point, the 7 would move into the ones column, the 0 into the tens column, this 0 into the hundreds column, and this 2 into the thousands column, giving us 2007. Question 2 says, circle the calculation that is the odd one out. So our first task is to find out what the answers to these calculations are so we can deduce which one is not the same as the others. So A is 58,700 divided by 100. B is 5,870 divided by 10, and C is 56,700 divided by 100. So the first calculation, 58,700 divided by 100, would mean that all the numbers need to move down 2 places in the place value chart. So the 7 would move 1, 2 into the ones column. 8 would move 1, 2 into the tens column. And the 5 would move 1, 2 into the hundreds column. So that gives us 587. 5,870 divided by 10 means all the numbers move down 1 place in the place value chart. So the 7 would move into the ones column, the 8 would move into the tens column, and the 5 would move into the hundreds column, giving us 587. Finally, 56,700 divided by 100, same as A, would mean the numbers move down 2 in the place value chart. So 7 would move into the ones, 6 would move into the tens, and the 5 would move into the hundreds column. So the answer to that one is 567. The first two the first two equal the same amount. However, this one is something completely different, which means C is the odd one out because it has a different answer to A and B. Question 3 says, Annie has put a number into the 3 function machines below. She spilt some of her juice and some of the digits have been covered. What number could Annie have started with? Find 3 possibilities. On the function machine, you've got lots of information there as well. It tells us where some of the zeros are within our number and where they end up once they've been divided. And Annie has also given us 3 clues. My number has 5 digits. My number can be divided by 10, 100 and 1,000 evenly. My number has a digit sum of 9. So we know that Annie's numbers can be divided evenly because there's no additional numbers on the end of these, like as a decimal. There's no remainders given, so they must be evenly divided. And we know that the number has 5 digits because Annie gave us this for the divide by 100 function machine. So now we need to sort of work out what we can do with the numbers. So if we take this, for example, if we look at the 0, it's in the hundreds column. When we divide by 100, all the numbers move twice. So that 0 will move twice and end up here in the ones column. So in the answer, we'll end up with a 0 in the ones column, which we do, which suggests to me that these must also be 0, because if they weren't a 0, they would end up being represented as a decimal. So that tells me that these numbers are also 0. So that leaves us with our 10,000s and our thousands numbers to work out. She says that my number has a digit sum of 9. If these 3 numbers are all 0, that means that these 2 numbers must add up to make 9. So we could use 81, or 8 and 1. We could have 81,000. 81,000 divided by 10 leaves us with 8,100. So that could be a number that works. If we did 81,000 divided by 100, we'd end up with 810. And if we did 81,000 divided by 1,000, we'd end up with 81. So that is one possibility. But Annie has asked us to find 3 possibilities. So we could also have 27,000. If we did 27,000 divided by 100, we'd get 270. If we did 27,000 divided by 10, we'd end up with 2,700. And if we did 27,000 divided by 1,000, we'd get 27. 2 and 7 add up to make 9. So that would work. You could also have 36,000 because 3 and 6 make 9. 36,000 divided by 1,000 leaves us with 36. If we did 36,000 divided by 100, we'd get 360. And if we did 36,000 divided by 10, we'd end up with 3,600. So that would also work. Other possible numbers you could have include 18,000. You could also have 63,000. You could have 72,000. You could have 45,000. Or you could have 54,000, because all of those numbers have a digit sum of 9. That was a video from Classroom Secrets on the dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000 worksheet. If you would like to watch the video tutorial that accompanies this video, please visit kids.classroomsecrets.co.uk. And if you would like any more resources on this step, please visit our other website, classroomsecrets.co.uk.